Hello punters and welcome to the review show for Sandown 27 May 2017 card. Starting off with a 2-year-old 1200 metre race. Decently fast time, 1:11.01. 3 main runners in this that I'd probably want to be looking at. So the winner was Cliff's Edge, Darren Weirhorse. Gave it a bit of a spruik on his radio interview, which for me, for this type of race, listened to a little bit, and it came in with probably the best form, along with Star Search, who pulled up lame. The one you identified on breeding that was a first starter, really good race, Lone Eagle.
Yeah, it's a huge run, wasn't it?
Yeah. Clearly run of the race outside of the winner. You've got to follow that forward.
Yeah, I think that they've run really good time. Lone Eagle's definitely worth following.
Especially, I'd probably point, I reckon the wind was just a bit more wind that earlier in the day than later in the day. Do you think for the headwind? That's kind of what I felt. It got colder as the day went on, but I reckon the wind died down a bit.
I'll try to block out most of the experience of Sandown. The punting was actually alright.
Yeah.
The venue.
Yeah, well, we'll get onto that in a little bit.
What a shithole. Yeah, I think Lone Eagle, follow it. Sedition
Ran terrible.
I'm not totally off it though. It was average ride.
Yeah.
3 wide the trip, I think. Was
it? It wasn't great, but it looked perfect in the yard. There was nothing against it, I thought, and didn't pull up with any issues. So
I think it was ridden poorly and raced wide, and yeah, Cliff's Edge was a big run.
Yeah. The one that I was keen on in my preview, She's Our Gift. Ridden poorly and got the answer why. The trainer decided that he would tell the apprentice jockey to take a sit instead of rolling forward like its last 2 starts, which it won in. I'm going to put this one in my black book and come back to it because I have a feeling in the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll get an easier contest and we'll get a win. So that's one I'll be adding in my black book. And yeah,
he got the ride wrong.
Yeah,
and Oliver and Alan rode theirs perfectly.
Exactly. I still think She's Our Gift. If it gets, let's say, a country track where there's not as good drainage, gets its right surface, we'll probably get $4, I reckon.
Are you worried about how deep into the prep it's getting?
Not really. I thought it looked good on the weekend.
Well,
yeah.
Most of them did though.
So I think you'd want to see how it parades, I guess. But if it's 2 weeks between runs from here to there, I'm kind of okay. I'm not a big believer in horses coming to an end of a prep as much as everyone else.
Yep.
So,
fair enough.
Look, 2-year-olds maybe more so than others. Yeah, I get that point, but no.
I think it's a good race though, and if you find these sort of horses dropping back in grade, I'd be very keen.
I think this form would match any Sydney form for a 2-year-old grade as well. I'll just put that out there. Race 2, same distance, 1200 metres, BM 78. Slowly run first 300 metres. I really liked the ride of Daniel Moore on the 150, 200 to 1 shot. Kalashani lad was caught 3 wide and decided, look, 300 metres in, they're going slow. Zoomed around them, got a position on speed, and most importantly, 300 metres in, that was past when the wind had all gone. So yeah. He wasn't making the move into the wind, he was making the move as the wind blocks, you know, it's kind of pushing him around, and he got the first win into the straight. Ran third on 151 shot. Bravo. Good ride.
Run first up. Might be flat next start.
Of course.
I'll be looking for it third up.
There were some flat runs in this. Galaxy Raider first up looked okay. Ran horrible.
Paraded well, was backed, I think.
Well, in the card players were the best 2 backed in the race. Both ran terribly.
I'd stick with the card players. I think it'll get further.
Do you reckon it wasn't suited by 1400 back to 1200? Then they run it more like a 900 metre sprint. So
yeah, I'd say it'll get to 1400, and if you've backed it, back it again.
Yeah. Interestingly, we had 2 runners in the race, Star Stealer and Nikita's. Just from the yard, noticed that he was legging up Nikita's. That generally for me says it's the one we thinks is going to win. Just that's an interesting thing I like to take from the yard. So when you see he's got 2 fancy runners, just look to see which one he's legging up. And of course, Nikita's flash turn runs second, but the big follow from the race, I hope I say it right, Rolito, the Godolphin horse. And kind of missed this one. Didn't really like its form coming in, but when you do Harry hindsight and have a look at it, you go, well, they had the 2 decent trials in Sydney, had a hit out at Warwick Farm, ran 4th, wasn't beaten too far. 2 more jump outs official, probably did a couple more back home. And it was right fit, ready for this race and improved. It was smashed the clock, final 400, 21.83.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
measure
it's
up.
the run of the day.
Yeah.
By a mile, probably. I thought, he's a dude. I liked it before the races. I liked it in the yard. I hated the ride on it.
Yeah.
It went way too slow the first third of the race.
I'd be shocked if they continue with a city run. I reckon they'll go to like
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Ballarat, Bendigo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we've got coming up,
But it's deep into
Seymour,
its
wherever.
parade.
Yeah.
But I really like that run. Star Stealer paraded really well, ran poorly. I'm not sure what to do with it.
That Star Stealer for you. It's a
Nikitas
frustrating
is
horse.
going well.
Yeah.
They've run good time in this race. Really good. I think this race, there'll be a lot of winners come from it. And there's no reason to drop off that. Like, it's
Where are
just gonna
they?
keep going
Where are
with
they
that
racing
stable.
in 2 weeks? Because
Smile.
Moonee Valley this week coming up, and then where's the Metro? So it's probably
No idea.
Flemington again. I don't know. It'll have to be. I don't think Caulfield's on at the moment, so
Well-
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think Galaxy Radar, I don't know what to do make of that run. But yeah, I agree with you. That horse, Relito, is the run of the day. Keeps winning.
Yeah.
He's a dude. I'll be following it anywhere it goes. And the card players up to 400 will win. That's what I've got.
Cool. Let's go through the 2 jumps races very quickly.
And what a torturous mounting yard race that was. I tipped it.
Oh.
I liked it and lost on the race.
That happens a fair bit though.
Well, we're back Nikitas, and he's our dude. Maybe one other. Can't
Yeah.
remember.
Went for 3 and left out the 4th. Good one.
Yeah.
Happens a bit, but what can you do? Steeplechase and hurdles cover this on basically the same time.
I don't care.
Now and Zen was horrible. Gold medals were smashed in betting like last start. It ran a much better race. Had it won at the 700 with Zedham being the only challenger. Hit the last jump, which we weren't allowed to get close to, but we'll go on to that a bit further. And Zedham just stuck within one or 2 noses, but just couldn't get there. Race 4 hurdle, Renew Braindom. You can't say much more. Paraded decently.
Paraded well.
Yeah.
It was short, wasn't it? For a horse
220.
that- For a horse that went like
They did
shit.
lay it actually, so they landed out to 250 late, which was kind of off of that concern that it had the flat run. I couldn't play that race based on that information.
Yeah, well, if you remember, I wanted to lay the shit out of it,
Yeah.
but it paraded well, so
Yeah.
I just left it. Shit race. I don't care for the jumps, do you? You do, don't you?
I like them because in Australia, I like my overseas jumps better, but in Australia, generally speaking, the form holds up, especially deeper into preps like this. We've just seen 2 favourites win the 2 jumps races on the card, and in the other race, the thing that was beaten by that much was the second favourite. So
that in the next race, try 4.
Yeah.
Was a good run.
why wasn't it jumping?
Yeah, but next time it won't.
But why wasn't it jumping here?
Who knows?
It would have gone close.
It'll win it when it goes to the jumps.
I- Do we have more coming up? I'm not even sure when the jumps finishes because I know they had
Oh,
Casterton today, and I
Did they jump there, did they?
I guess they do have like the Grand Annual or something coming up. I don't know. I don't know when the season goes till. Yeah, they jumped to Casterton today, so to speak.
Well, enough about the jumps. Race 5.
Race 5, BM90, 2400 metres. Ran it in 2 minutes 30 flat. Reldo Jr. put up EIPH, led them all the way.
It paraded perfectly.
Mm.
And raced. I sent it out on top from Gothland, then from the winner. Yeah, I lost on the race. What?
The great game. Look, Areldo Jr., I think this is a horse with a lot of problems.
Oh,
I
it's
think,
a genuine excuse though.
yeah. But that's the thing. I think you'll win long term if you're back in every start. It's just got that profile, but you're going to have a hard time over the next 5 to 10 runs after that when you're backing it.
Yeah, it's just a torturous race because
Yeah.
on the preview show I said Grand Dreamer can bounce back and Transfer Alliance is going huge.
Yeah. Well, you're
I
back.
found them both in my numbers.
You've wanted transfer
lost on the
allowance at
race.
huge prices the last 2 starts, and then it's finally run its race, and then it gets beaten as well on the day is the worst part. Good run, looked home as well, and then Grand Dreamer gets the split through.
Yeah, that really put them away, didn't it?
Yeah, Go For Them was massive disappointment. I mean,
I'd follow it though.
yeah, look, I think it's a momentum horse, and I think when you
Yeah.
look at the run, it was only going from about 350, 400. They sat on the inside. I think they probably got the ride a bit wrong, but it was still a bit disappointing. Maybe needs the next run. It's one of those Williams horses where you just go, oh, that was a decent run, and then suddenly in the next start they win by 4 lengths.
Yeah.
And they have the ability to do that. If there's a 2,800 metre race out there next start somewhere, that's where you're probably looking. Raindrops on Roses, I thought was a really good run.
Paraded okay too.
Yeah, I didn't expect it had any shot in the race, but 3 wide early, no cover, rolled forward.
It was a big run.
As you said, Try 4 as well was one to watch. Look, Grand Dreamer, I just thought it got the run of the race, and that's why it won. I think there was a bit of a average tempo, and
but I don't think it would have been set there. Well, it probably keeps winning.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the horse, is what I'm going to say, but that's just me in terms of I don't think it's got... When I look at a horse, I say, do I think this can go to be the next level?
Yeah.
When I'm looking at these, I say Go For Them does. I reckon Raindrops on Roses has the potential to go to the next level. Grand Dreamer, I think this is probably its level.
Where's transfer allowance going?
Back to the country grade and just keeps winning some country cups. That's where you aim it now, right? I mean, you got it going well. You go back to
I've
the
had
country.
one without me. I've backed it the last 3 times or 2 times. I'm back on board.
Watch, it'll go around on a Sunday. You won't be watching. You don't have it You better black book it. And punters, this is why you need to black book stuff, because you look at the results on a Sunday when you haven't had a pun. You go, shit, I've backed that the past 5 times. And it's just run around.
Race on Sunday somewhere.
There always is. Seriously.
Shooter or somewhere?
Yeah, look, always there's a good race on Sunday and there's stuff you've wanted to back the next start and you just miss it and it's just ridiculous. So black book them and remove them. I've still got Freshwater Storm and it needs to be removed from my black book. So just remember to remove them as well. Race 6, Sandown 1600 metre handicap. Slowly run race. What the hell were they doing on Picalo? Like...
He had the spurs on too.
Why do you take a sit? They take all the speed out of the race by taking a horse that's run a brutally...
I don't think it would have won. I think it was going to have a flat run.
I'm not sure if it's going to win or not, but they ran the race 3.5 seconds faster the previous start where they won.
I'd be following it next start on Picalo.
Yeah.
Kalani Kid.
That was a huge drifter as well.
It's the best horse to run last. It'll win next start, or the start after. I'm going to just back it both times, wherever it goes.
Country Cup next start, I reckon.
I reckon it's set for next start.
2,000 metres next start. Country Cup. Weir loves the Country Cups.
Yeah. Petrology was on top from the yard for me.
That horse is just...
It ran enormous.
I don't want to call it a milk drinker because it's not. It's just actually running into some really good horses.
Well, I'm starting to back it next. I backed it on Saturday and I'll stick with it. So it'll be a milk drinker if it doesn't win.
I black booked it the last 2 runs and I haven't been able to put it on top the next 2 runs because there's just been... when I looked at the map, right, I said, it's going to sit last. And Plain Ciel's going to be out there. Who's a better sprinter late? And I just said...
They've run similar times. It's just...
Yeah.
It was behind him coming down the hill and he kicked away.
And
they've held on like sort of the same margin.
There was pretty much nothing that came from out there on the day, which...
So on Plain Ciel, it paraded better, quite a bit better than it did at Warrnambool.
But
it's
there's
still got improvement to come in lots of ways. It can handle itself a lot better in the yard. It could slightly be in better condition. And if it's saving energy in the parade, it's going to run even faster.
Correct.
It's a good horse. It's the best horse out of this race. I'm confident, which is obvious. But there's more upside than it even looks.
So my thoughts on it on Saturday, it was a bit over the place in the yard, but it wasn't as bad as last start.
Yeah.
Even Weary said that post-race. It pulled its head off all run.
It was interesting on the fair too. It went out to $3 almost, and then it came right back.
That's because it was playing up, and they saw what happened at the Bull last start. But I think once it got onto the track, it was kind of okay. It was just really.
Well, it over raced half the race as well.
Yeah,
it
but
could have gone a lot faster early.
do you think? So here's the thing: if they run a second or two faster, does it win? Is it still a better?
But Petrology
stronger-
might have gone better with
that's-
a faster tempo.
That's what I'm thinking of, because you look at the final 100 of the race and you just go, ooh, Petrology's last 100 was really good. Where Plain Ciel kind of ran as if it had pulled its head and all that, I guess, the final 100. I know it's interesting. They're clearly the two I take out of it, on Picalo, just to forgive. Yeah.
Culinary Kid, though, I'm following it
Yeah.
as well. I think he'll go a different sort of race than the others will.
Well, it's already proven at a higher level than this as well, so, in the past.
That's it for that race. Race 7,
Ooh,
1600 metre.
needed this winner.
3-year-old fillies.
Yeah, 1600 BM 78 as well it was. Yep. Soho Ruby is on top.
This is a very good race from the yard.
Yeah.
Because in the previous show, if you watched it, I was very, very confident on Padrina. And still was with the yard, but really taken by Soho Ruby.
Looked great.
And so had a huge bet Padrina, but also had a really good bet at Soho, which drifted to $7.
$7 in the ring.
In the ring too.
Didn't get higher
In
than
the
that
ring.
on Betfair.
Speaking of the ring, well, I don't understand why people even go there. Like, they're constantly 4 or 5 rolls under Betfair.
Yeah.
Rolls under even probably corporates.
To be
It's
fair,
a joke.
No, let's be fair on this race, right?
There will be no ring in 15 years. It'll just be like a tourist attraction. Like, go and have a bet. Like, it's a joke. It's a fucking
Probably,
joke.
but this is the one race where we actually agreed they were doing something good. Because Old Mate had Padrina at $3 when it was $2.90 on the fair. You remember that?
Yes, I got that. Yeah.
So they're actually betting overs in the ring, and then they were betting overs with Soho Ruby when it just kept drifting and drifting. And then what happened on course, you get the call, oh, Leoti's going to be vetted on the way at the barriers, and you're like, well, this makes it a really easy race. You just back bloody Soho Ruby and Padrina, because there's no way in hell I'm backing Leoti when it's being vetted, regardless of what they find. And it did look good in the yard as well, Leoti, but you just couldn't, on a vetting advice, no chance in hell.
No, it paraded really well. But once they vetted it, we dropped off.
Yeah.
We had a good result. It was good for us.
Definitely
we
needed
were sort
it
of digging
on the day.
towards a little bit of a hole. We started well. We had the first winner and a few others, but then we needed this race and we got it.
This is where we started to come back, yes. Race 8, 3-year-old handicap. You can start because this one just gives me the absolute shits.
Well, I think the best horse won. I think.
You reckon?
Yeah. I didn't like how it paraded. I think there's upside to it. I like the way Barbie's Boy paraded. I'm going to follow it out of the race. And I think Widgie Turf still it's not near its top.
Yeah, I didn't like its sectionals at all. When I went over this race, right? So everyone knows my best
thing. Valiano continues to parade perfectly, and not really.
You see the steward's report? Knuckled on jumping. So trust me, follow.
Okay.
Whenever a horse knuckles, this is one of my little tricks, I guess. If I see a horse is knuckled and still run a bloody good race, beaten 2 lengths, it's like twisting an ankle and still running, in my opinion. And I've seen Black Caviar win while knuckling and then still only winning by half a length to a length. And it depends on how badly they knuckle, kind of with a lameness issue as well. But I always find they run so much better the next start after a knuckling. It's just ridiculous. So it's Valiano, I think it's finally about to have its good run.
Okay. I just think it's one of Mark Lamborn Racing Rant pearls. It's the last start SP. Like, it started $3.50 favourite against Zamzam.
Yeah.
That's all the market, all the intelligence saying.
But the mapping was just...
Which started $18.
The ride on Zamzam was just horrible. They ran 0.8 seconds slower than the previous start, and it was good 4 back to good 3 on this day.
Yeah, because you were following Widgie Turf, weren't you?
So I said...
And you thought I'd be following you in the run.
Correct. So I had it, like last start, I put up on Twitter, someone was debating this with me. I said, here's a comparison last start to this start. And it was at the 400 metre mark, and there was this far between Zamzam and Widgie Turf coming in straight, which was about 2.5 lengths, that Zamzam was leading by. It was the opposite in this race. You're never going to win from last, and Yeah, lost by 4.5, 5 lengths,
They
right?
set up perfect for Widgie.
Yeah, so that's my hindsight as well. Look,
And it drifted to $4
Zam-
late on the fair. Just before they jumped,
Yeah.
Widgie took it to $4.
Zam Zam was third best final 600 in the race. I think if they rode it correctly, it goes close. Does it beat Widgie? Not sure on that. I think when you go back and look at our previous show, the one thing I was saying, there were only 4 chances in this race, and the 2 top chances were Widgie Turf and Zam Zam. So was betting Zam Zam on the each way actually the right play?
Oh,
Hindsight says no, it should have been backing Widgie Turf and Zam Zam at about $2 and just cleaning up.
yeah.
Painless. So
Great game, mate.
yeah, look, you got to learn from those mistakes, and I'm seeing a bit more and more that I'm going to start
when
going
I got
away
through
from
the
the each way
program to the
bets.
previous show, I sort of stuck to my thoughts there I'd win. But then come the last race here,
Well, yeah,
I was
this
keen
is-
on Thelberg, not keen on Canny Sen, and once I saw them parade, I was all over it. I was
So
sending out
we'll
Canny
do the
Sen on
intro for
top.
it. Sandown race 9, 1400 BM84. They ran at 0.8 seconds slower than the 3-year-old handicap. So they ran it really slow out front. So let me just put on this point before you do that. Thelberg last start won at Caulfield, led him around in 122.69. That includes going up the hill. There's no hill at Sandown. Now, yeah, there was a bit of wind down the back, but I think by race 9 it had died down a fair bit.
Like the crowd.
Oh, did that die down?
Didn't it build up? Chappelle should have gone there. No one would have seen her. You could kill someone, bury them, everything, and no one would even know.
In the lake or the grandstand?
Well, anywhere,
Yeah.
as long as you don't get any of the jumps. They wouldn't let us walk in certain areas of the track. While we're on it, because I'm...
Yeah, we might as well say it, right?
At Sandown, if you're not a member, it's incredibly hard to watch the horses parade. You've got to walk out the back, under a huge tunnel, out another tunnel, over the grass, down to watch them parade. 300 metre walk.
I reckon it took about 3.5 to 4 minutes each time just to go from
Yes.
inside where the bookies are to the outside.
So, and neither of us are fit.
Oh, definitely not
So
me.
it's torture. And then you finally you look at the horses, send off our stuff, get back into the ring. Oh, like $4.20 on Betfair, $3.70 for $3.80. Like fucking what a shithole. And it's out in the middle of nowhere.
We couldn't drink because you got to drive out there.
It-
I just want to say something real quick while we're on this. On the jump. So, Jake Norton, in his fairness, replied to me on Twitter and said, look, the reason why we're not allowed near the jumps, which literally there's a barrier, and then you've got like 30 metres to where the jumps are, and you're not even allowed to stand there. You saw our old mate got taken back from there by the security guy, who I reckon I could have outrun. He said, look, it's about the...
There was more security guards there than punters.
Yeah, on the grandstand area it was.
100%.
But so he said, look, it's because of, I guess, protesters going in front of the jumps and jumping and stopping the races, right? Look what happened in Queensland on the weekend.
Yeah.
Group 1 races, guy gets onto the track. How are you going to stop
Oh,
him?
did he?
Yeah. In the last race, he's like run in front of one of the horses. Ridiculous. The guy should be suspended for life. Not
Oh, so the curator of Eagle Farm or the guy who
a bit of
Racing's flying, isn't it?
a bit of A, bit of B. But here's my thing. The terrorists win if you actually stop people from doing something. And I actually wanted to go up and watch these magnificent beasts jump over these hurdles. Not allowed to get within 300 metres of it.
To be honest, I was actually happy they didn't let us go down there because I could be walking down. It was that cold. It was freezing.
It was pretty cold. But seriously, like...
that was at 2 p.m.
You know, Betfair, they've even not allowing in play because they're scared of the perception that if something falls and trades at 1,000 to 1.
Can't you? Because I didn't look because I didn't
Correct.
care. You can't.
Yet if fucking Red Cadeau dies in the Melbourne Cup, trades at 1,000 to 1, where's the perception there? It's the same thing. They're letting these protesters win and walk over us. It's just ridiculous. There has to be a better way. I agree that we don't want people going and jumping in front of the jumps and stuff, but I could have outrun the security guard.
Just why you smokes you getting in the shot and just getting rid of it.
My smokes, yeah. Imagine my health with my smokes. Jesus, I'd be like dead by 40. So yeah, race 9, Thelberg.
I'll be stoked if I make 40. I'm still just coming right now from Saturday night.
Well, yeah, you had a big one.
Yeah.
Seriously, Thelberg, like,
Yeah,
he's
back
run
to
it
the
2
races.
seconds, 2 seconds slower, out front. What the hell was he doing?
Yeah.
Of course he didn't win.
I was disappointed with Broadway at first.
Horrible.
Paraded really nice.
Weary legged it up as well, I think.
What about the debacle of...
Oh.
Don't even worry about it. We saddled up two wrong horses, which is understandable because he would have had 55 horses there.
Well, imagine he probably puts around like 10,000 horses a year or something, right? So they had Nolu's choice.
Strike rate's pretty good.
As, what was it, number 12?
8 and 12
Stylish Miss.
8 and 12 are on.
So they got fined $3,000 for it, just so you know. But, yeah, I can see how it happens. But at least the procedure's in place to catch it. So props to Racing Victoria. You caught it, and trust me, the horses didn't look anything alike.
This was a great way to finish the day, though.
Well, yeah, so let's actually touch on our winner, Canny Essen.
1, 4, 14, 11. I'm pretty sure that's round first 4, isn't it?
Pretty close, yeah. Strike Force was was one of them.
Well, they're the two.
Yeah.
The Data Point out over further.
Yeah.
He looks like he's
it's a good
have
horse.
A big prep.
And I think the further it gets into its prep, the better.
Yeah.
That's why I had to be against it. It was getting too far back on what I saw was Canny Essen was going to get a perfect mapping.
I think Strike Force and Data Point, especially Data Point, are the two with the most upside out of this race.
Strike Force, I didn't like it on the day, and I didn't like it on the form because it screwed me at Mornington Cup Day.
You gotta let that go.
No, I couldn't let it go because it wasn't going to lead, and I think when it leads, it's best. So it missed the start, got caught, I think 3 wide, and then no cover from at least a 700. It was a really good run. I'm happy to follow it forward. And I think Canny Essen's good enough that you just keep following it as well, not to anything.
I'm wary of following horses deep into their preps.
What's it, 5 now?
It's 7th start.
Okay, yeah, that is a bit far.
A lot of travelling. But yeah, alright, what was your hidden run of the day? We've got to be a bit different.
Hit and run?
Hit and run. Mine's Culinary Kid.
My hidden runs are up in Eagle Farm, though.
Oh, actually, let's talk about that. The big fella fucking dominated at Eagle Farm. If you watched the previous show, he tipped 4 horses in the first 4
Yeah,
races.
so I said, well, you bet we're doing the 50.
Winner at 5s.
So
at 10s.
I've written it down here for you. So $3.10, Burning Passion, that was after the Ducks. Colin Lil, $11. Jeffy Lloyd, brilliant. Melody Bell was about $4.60. Got out to like 5 something on the fair, but I'm taking the tote price. And then cash back on the chairman who went around at 5s and ran 3rd. So
killed it. You got to watch. Just got to watch.
I'm pretty happy with that result.
I didn't do them. Next week I will.
I'm probably going to be banned from UBet this week, but let's see.
Use my account.
Yeah.
I haven't got one.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to go bowling somewhere. We'll put it that way. Hidden run of the day. You go first.
Culinary Kid.
That's fair.
And just on Queensland, that I tipped the horse to run each way, Neverland, in race 4.
It never got a run.
Never got out of the swamp. I thought it was a good run, and I'd stick with that horse. I didn't pay that much attention to Eagle Farm, but I only saw one.
What do you
horse
think of the
really
racing there?
Make ground down there, which is clearly innocent. It looked like it sort of went the same.
It loved it. I mean, well,
Chris Lees is a freak.
Look at the.
Is he not a freak?
Look at the backing in the Stradbroke, and then they've changed where it's going to be run, so people have done their dough pretty much.
I saw today. Have they changed the distances of?
The Oaks is 2,400 back to 2,200. So I'm on Oak Tart at 11s.
Imagine that, look, the AFL Grand Final gets rained off, right? It's hailing and there's lightning and something's happened. Then they have it the next week.
Yeah.
Because they have it the next week, they're not going to be 20-minute quarters, they're going to be 16-minute quarters. Get fucked the
There's one better. Adelaide about a year ago, they had like this area of the ground that they couldn't run on at the 1,400. So they took this 1,600 metre race back to 1,200 metres. I'm dead set, not kidding. People had already bet all in and stuff, and it's nearly as good as the ones in Adelaide. There was probably 2 last year where pulled a shoe, couldn't get the shoe back on, so they pulled the other shoe off it and said, we're going to race it around with no racing shoes on the front feet.
Who is responsible for the debacle that is Queensland racing?
Not sure, but that's the thing, right? Like the administrators, you know, if you're a trainer and you do something wrong, you get in shit. If you're a jockey, you do something wrong, you get in shit.
If you're a punter and you get it wrong, you do your ass and you lose your money.
Yeah. Administrators
should be the same for everyone else in
racing. No idea, but they're not accountable.
There's a lot of big fuck-ups.
Some stewards aren't accountable around the country either, though. That's what we come back to. We've got no accountability at the top end. I mean, you look at this Cobolt saga in Victoria. It's a shit show.
Yeah,
absolute shit show.
Do you I think that the Cobolt thing is a complete myth. The little engine who got done pissed in a week ago.
Yeah.
So he's proved that it's like it wasn't Cobolt that was making him.
He did go a little bit backwards afterwards. I'm just going to say that, but I know Ralphie has a pretty big opinion on the little engine not going backwards. I thought he did go backwards a bit.
Well, he's a smart man.
Look, what if we're talking about things that should be discussed? How about Moody and all these others for Cobolt and for bad training stuff getting thrown out? What's this? Kamani with strangles gets 6 months and someone takes over his yard so he can walk back in 6 months' time. Moody wasn't allowed to have someone come in. Neither was what?
Wasn't he?
No, Galagotis wasn't for 3 months. He had to give all his horses off to Blackshore.
I don't pay much attention to it.
The hypocrisy, or how do you say the bloody word, is it's all over the place.
Moody will come back and do whatever he wants. He's the king.
Yeah.
And because he stuck it up and he's becoming the people's champ.
I mean, while we're getting everything out there, what do you think of the Godolphin appointment up in Sydney?
I don't know. I don't know why he did it.
Well, he's got all the money in the world. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, I know. His missus is loaded, feeding him quality horses. But I think they make it. I heard like it's a lot. Like I'm not going to say it, but it's a lot of money a week. It's just it's like a job instead of like relying on winning.
Do you think he'll have to do as much as O'Shea did? So the way I'm looking at it is Beedman almost going to be doing that much.
I don't think he can go much worse. It's a good time to come into the job. Like O'Shea came in after a pretty good regime.
Yeah.
Whereas he's coming in after he went okay, but fuck, you'd want to. Like,
With what they were getting, yeah. Look, I think I can't understand why you would if you've got that much money. I guess you may love it. I guess they're also, it's kind of, I have a feeling they're going to give him a really good cup source this year.
But he's young, you might think differently. Like, big stables should be employing big punters. Like, if I was him, I'd have like Mark Lambourne working for me.
Well, it's like the jockeys are doing that.
You know, I'd have like Glenn Pollitt looking at my horses and like I'd just use different things that people don't use to get an edge. That's what the whole game is about.
The Hay stable, they're fucking flying. And I can tell you they've got the right people in their organisation form-wise to place their horses perfectly. And they've got the facilities. They know when their horses. They're putting this horse versus this horse. Last week, Vega Magic versus bloody Tashby. They knew Vega Magic was flying. They knew Tashby was flying. They win at $5 in a Group 1, and they're going to head to the Flemington race, which then Tashby wins at 20 to 1.
Yeah.
Canny Essent, David Hayes, best of the weekend. My best value on the card at $7, so best each way value. $7. Shoots in. Yeah. Trust me, they do their form if they're a really good stable. Godolphin though don't bet, which I think.
No, they do bet. I know they bet.
You know what I mean.
The stable, the people that work there bet.
Of course. Which
there's a lot of dodgy shit that goes on.
It's an interesting thing that stable can bet. I suppose you can't stop it happening, but the whole.
What about what's your take on this?
Yeah.
That horse that they at the Chris Waller racing sold with no ability.
Lil Caesar. I have a mate from Twitter who was in that, and he didn't want to sell it.
Have you seen emails and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know if we should talk about it too much because he could probably get in trouble.
Well, you see what Richie Callender's in trouble today, I reckon, because he's basically gone on Twitter, and because he was getting attacked once it won the fucking Group 3, like people were like just bagging the shit out of him because of it.
You lay horses we lay horses all the time, and you're like death riding them. Like, don't win. Imagine what he was like. Those blokes. That
well, even worse. Like this bloke I know didn't have anything on it. What an 80s as well. That's the worst part. Like he just keeps. It's the gift.
No, I mean like Waller, all his staff, Richie Callender, whoever else stitched them all up.
Well, you know Liam Pryor's working back there for Chris Waller, right?
That's not a good look.
It's not. I can't believe that he's done that. Like that for me is.
Yeah, I know. Well, if you think about it, why would you do that?
I know. It's shitty. But trust me, Richie's in a bit of trouble. Because what he said on Twitter is different to what he said in the proceedings.
I actually, well, I don't know what I think anymore, but I used to love him. I used to love him. He's a character.
I didn't like some of the things he said on TVN.
But if you stitch people up, you've brown bread, really, aren't you?
Yeah. Look, never met the bloke, so I can't say anything about him as a person.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to be. I'm not bagging anyone. I'm just saying it's fucking awkward when you've got done for it.
Well,
Pisses in an 80s.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, how's the regulations in the bloody breeding game if we're getting to it? They're not drug testing stuff that are going to the
I don't know.
to the sales, and they're not
You can
wanting
find
to put
out a
those
fair
in.
bit of what they've had.
But then you've got syndications where you can basically buy a horse and you're not even paying it for the first 6 months because Inglis holds the fees until you syndicate it.
Oh, it depends who buys it and how.
I know.
It's deep.
Well, yeah, because Jimmy got bought, Black Caviar's half brother, and then they never paid up and it died, and they couldn't get the money.
Well, I don't know enough about all that to talk about it. But
It's just a strange. Like, there needs to be. I know.
what was your highlight of the weekend? Let's finish on some positive.
Well, I reckon going to Sandown was bloody magnificent. I mean,
Just hanging out with me in the car.
Well, you, me.
Have
There
you
was
ever-
like
have
two
you ever
blokes.
seen someone
Did you see
roll
that? There was a female there. There was a female betting outside at that last race.
I didn't see anything.
I swear there was a
The
female
average
there.
age out there at Sandown would be 50s.
Yeah, it was. I suppose, look, there was a lot in corporate upstairs, but,
There
you know.
wouldn't have been much up there. Places that dive. My highlight was
Mine was Kenny Essen getting us out, so we had a winning weekend. That
Yeah.
was honestly it.
first four last race. That was nice.
And the hot chocolate as well. That was pretty good.
Highlight was probably seeing that Cliff's Edge and Lone Eagle. I reckon they're nice types and they'll be good horses going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it beats Eagle Farm.
Alright guys, that's it.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks for
See
watching.
you Friday.